I don't know how much in the loop you are. Hadn't been doing a good job this morning of doing all that. Woke up, got eyeball problems. One of my contacts is giving me issues. It rained at daylight. It rained all night last night. Motivation wasn't exactly there. So what I did was just kind of bumped around, did a little listening, did a little looking, trying to find some turkeys, and got to a spot and heard a turkey. Actually heard a couple turkeys, but one of them is on some ground that we can kick around on. I think it's going to take about a 800 or 900 yard little walk about to figure out for sure, and that's what we're doing. We brought the video camera, shotgun, just in case. Good luck, Mama. She doing good. There's mamas everywhere right now. Taking care of them babies. Got back here to this field. It's pretty. But I ain't heard him on the approach, and I ain't hearing him now, so I left the flipping tube call in the truck. Gosh dang it. I have left that tube call everywhere this year, except in my vest. Some more really open woods with some scratching, turkey feather, and it rained all day yesterday. Rain this morning, so I don't expect the turkeys to be in the woods, but it's going to turn dry and hot next handful of days, so it might be a time to find the turkeys here in the shade of these big trees. So file that away. Beautiful spot for sure. Walked our butt way back in here. We ain't heard nothing. Found some beautiful woods though, some scratching in them. Have a feeling if it was a pretty weather day, we'd have struck a turkey by now. That's why what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna park it right here for about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. And after 30 minutes we'll get up, make some calls, and start heading out. But we're going to pause for about 30, see if we're not in that little lull. We've heard several times this week where turkeys are flying down, there'll be a little lull where they don't gobble, then they'll start gobbling again. So that's what we're going to wait, see if we can't wait that out.
It's kind of been one of those kind of days. I thought it was going to clear out of here, and it did. The sun popped out for like 2 hours, and I was about the time I got my crap together and started putting together a plan. It was about 1:30 when that happened. I was going to put in a plan just to make one little roundabout through the woods, and about the time I could hear thunder rumbling in the distance, and it started doing this soon thereafter, and it hadn't stopped. So it's just been one of those days. Put in a considerable amount of windshield time without a whole lot of luck. No luck, as a matter of fact. So we're headed into town so that I can like get out of this truck, stretch my legs a little bit. Living out of the truck and a day worth of rain, kind of cabin fever will set in because you ain't able to get out, stretch your legs and whatever. Do that, edit some pictures, do a little video stuff. I really need this rain to get out of here, so all we can do is wait. And that's probably going to round out the day. So.
Good morning to you. We're waking up in the parking lot this morning. That's where we failed to rest last night. But we got to figure out where we're going to go and what we're going to do with it. We got to go. We didn't really hit it real hard yesterday, especially at daylight. We did a lot of cruising around and knocked on the door on the turkey we did here, and they said no. So I think we're gonna go to a piece of ground that I know we can get in on. One of those publicly accessible pieces of ground. Yeah, I think the eye's doing better this morning. I don't know. Actually, maybe it's not hurting as bad, so put it that way. It looks pretty rough, but anyways. Not exactly what you would think sitting up. For turkey killing, but it's a high point and I'm trying to hear. Fairly certain I just heard one, but this wind has got everything moving and I'm wanting to confirm before I give up my high spot here. Complicate this thing quite a bit. I've heard a turkey gobble for sure out this way. And when I owled before leaving my other little post, I had a turkey gobble the opposite way. I walked about 150 yards just to try to get a bearing on this turkey. I thought he was in a spot that I had already walked through. I thought he was on the edge of some fields that I had to walk by to get in here. But the last gobble put him way further to the left. But that was through the wind and I'm not confident in that direction. So I'm just waiting on the wind to give me a pause so I can get one good confirmed gobble out of him, if he will do it. Long little finger ridge goes out and dog legs left. From where I was at was up this way. The second turkey I heard was off in here. I think he was across this big ravine, this big hollow. But considering the wind and the thick vegetation and everything else, I need to make sure. So I'm gonna call a little bit right here, and if it don't work, then I'll go, but at least I give him a chance to gobble. And really close right here somewhere. gobbling at her, but he's way up that way. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of hands with him. You can barely hear him over there. He's across, I'm pretty sure. He's got hands with him because they're yelping back at her. It's really steep and narrow. It goes up this way. I'm thinking the turkey's on the other side. Turned the camera off to take a leak, and as I was doing so, a hen was on this pine tree right here above me. She started cutting and walked off and flew off, and he gobbled at that. But I don't think he's gonna come over to this side. This is right where those other hens were too. They were all roosted right here. This slope is cleaner and rocky, though, so. That turkey's just straight across, man. Got quiet, that makes me nervous. Basically what happened is, or what is happening is, I'm sitting right amongst where a lot of hens were, at least 3. He's had to hear them all morning. He's heard me all morning. He's flown down on the opposite side of this ravine, which is a big, deep, nasty ravine. But he's gobbled at everything that we've done over here. The thing is, this little flat, there's a field behind me. This little flat here, you could kill him on, but you need to know where he's coming. I'm just sitting up and waiting, and I'm afraid he's quit gobbling. So he could be moving, he's just gonna pop up. This little flat's only about 30 yards wide before it falls off into that ravine, so it's gonna be tight quarters, and I might see him before he sees me. It's gonna be a deal here. Just sitting here. It's probably been an hour since I cut that camera off. Just heard heavy wings. Saw bits and pieces of a turkey coming across that ravine. And it probably landed down here about 80 yards. Had to be the gobbler. this side and got comfortable, he would gobble to try to find where everybody's at. Unless those two hens are out in this field back here behind me, and he walks right out there and sees them, then maybe he won't, but makes me think the turkey got across. He must have landed down there and went across, and he's out in his field behind us probably. I think the best thing for me to do is just try to ease up and get a look on this field behind me. As soon as I do, the dang turkey will be walking up his flat right here and flush. I can see a couple of long-bearded turkeys out there, but what I find alarming is how hard this turkey was gobbling. And none of them turkeys are strutting. Makes me think he's a different turkey, because it seems the turkeys that I saw or heard this morning would be strutting and whatnot. So I'm gonna keep glassing this field, get a little better look at the corners and stuff of the field. Try to figure something out. Two of the hens from the flock just picked up and left. They're walking across the field here in front of me. The initial turkey that I heard gobble this morning, it was on the other side. I just heard him gobble twice. Way over yonder. Way over there. But she's walking off yelping. So I got a turkey gobbling in the distance, hens leaving, so it's telling me this is the time of day that things are gonna start shifting, hopefully. Okay, that theory I just had, you can throw it out the window. Like, crumble it up and throw it away. Because hens just walked all the way out here to like right out in front of me. Probably 200 at least from the flock of turkeys. And she was yelping, like maybe she was trying to get the flock to follow her. But they just turned around and ran. I'm talking ran all the way back to the flock. I mean, just ran almost like, I don't know why they ran and did all that, but they did. So, things ain't breaking up like I hoped. Still keep my eyes like I came around. To get the high ground. That other turkey had gobbled a couple times back this way. I just wanted to get the high ground because I was off kind of in a hole to get better ears on him, because if he keeps doing that, we're going to, obviously a turkey gobbling at 9:45 in the morning, we're going to have to start trying to make a play. But he hadn't gobbled since I've been around here, but it also gives me a better idea on what these guys are doing. I think like 11 or 12 turkeys total. Two hens have made a break for the left again, going uphill. Now they're going back down to them. But the whole flock, I would assume, is going to hit the timber. There's another turkey coming out of the bottom down there. Another hen. They're going to hit the timber at some point. When they do, that's my time to shine. I got to be wherever they hit the timber at. So. Longbeards are marching this way. There's one hen out in front of them that I guess is their favorite, so turkeys appeared that they were going to chase that little hen that I had come down to my corner, so I dropped down to the corner and they were on a beeline to her. But as luck would have it, they got about halfway there and they made a turn and went straight to the top, kind of right at the crest of the ridge where I was at. So I don't know if they're going into the timber or they're just going to follow the field edge. But they're too close to the field edge for me to just sneak up the edge like I've been doing, so I'm having to make a loop. If they dive into this timber down here, it's really nice timber. But I'm going to need to know that or I'm going to bump them. Can I not hear that turkey gobble? He's like low gobbling. I mean, they're about 200 yards away. You can tell me I should be able to hear that turkey gobble better than that. Me and a friend were just talking about this. I just hit that turkey with my rangefinder and he's 159 yards. And he's gobbling and you can barely hear him. He's low gobbling, he's low volume gobbling. He just gobbled and you can't, I mean, you tell me why you can't hear a turkey gobble at 159 yards. They're starting to drift this way, but I can't pull them through this thick crap here. They're gonna stay in the field edge. I don't know. The turkey's coming and he was at 159 when I think it was 159. Try to wait on this wind to go down so that you can try to hear him gobble. Should be able to hear the wind, the birds, and everything else, so that the audio on the camera's right. Turkey is gobbling and you just can't hear it. And the whole flock is drifting this way, like the doctor ordered. But the doctor can't shoot into that field. Well, they went in the woods, finally. That sun is supposed to be here at 8, is now here, it's noon. It pushed them out of the fields. They went in, so they're in my... I can play ball with them now that they're in the woods. But they're down there where the woods gets thin. It's extremely steep, so I'm assuming they're probably just right in the edge of the field, actually just under the shade of the leaves. They all met up down there and they just all wandered in. So what you've got is probably 8 hens and 3 longbeards in the timber that ain't gobbling. I could slip in there. It's steep enough, I bet I could get under them and come up. But what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out. I'm going to knock on the door of the people who own this field and see if they care if I shoot out into the field. If they say no, so be it. We'll just have to continue to play to get them in the woods, and we'll try to get between them and the field in the morning. So, even if the people tell us no, we can't shoot into the field, we can still play ball with these turkeys potentially. So, that's that. I'm gonna go.
Hey, we appreciate you guys joining us for this video. If you like this one, you'll probably like the next one. I'll leave it up here in the corner. Don't forget to subscribe and follow along with us. We'll leave our social media links down in the description below. That's also where you'll be able to find links on the turkey calls we use and the apparel we wear and that kind of stuff. So you can find that in that little drop down description below. And as always, we sure appreciate you guys following along.